A massive expansion is planned for a Dothan hospital. News 4's Will Polston has the details of the project and how it could benefit its patients.
This will give us room not only today to care for patients, but well into the future.
That's Dr. Foy Mann speaking on the expansion project set to start at Southeast Health Medical Center. This project was announced Wednesday morning.
A $50 million construction project, which includes the expansion of the medical center's emergency department.
The expansion includes adding 21,000 square feet of facilities, a multi-story medical tower with 52 beds, and the expansion of the emergency waiting room. This will allow the medical center to see up to 75,000 patients a year. Members of the emergency department say this project will make their job smoother and allow them to help more people, something CEO Rick Sutton says has been needed for years.
At times we have more patients admissions than we have beds upstairs. So having the additional space upstairs and those additional beds will decrease the number of patients that we currently are holding in the emergency department and allow us to better serve the patients that are coming in for emergency care.
With more hospital comes more jobs and more opportunities for the medical center to treat those in need. Dr. Foy Mann III hopes these improvements will continue to push Dothan as a city that prioritizes the health of its people.
We continue to lead and we'll continue to grow to answer the need of the community. I think that it will answer many opportunities for the community to grow as a healthcare community as a whole, to make sure people can stay here in Dothan, Alabama for their care.
The expansion project is expected to be finished in 2027. A start date has not been set. In Dothan, I'm Will Polston, your hometown news leader.